Ski season is now in full swing, bringing millions of people out to enjoy Utah's greatest snow on earth.
At the same time, our national parks are still seeing record numbers of visitors. The list leaves tourist towns like Park City and Moab swelling from their modest year-round population to over 10 times their normal size.
It's a lot of people. KUTV's investigative unit has teamed up with Utah's Growing Pains to take a look at the strain this puts on resources, specifically those trying to keep us all safe. Chris Jones tonight, up first with tonight's Utah's Growing Pains report.
Guys, living and working in a tourist town, of course, has its ups and downs. It's not the budget that's the main issue. It is housing.
Staffing is probably our number one concern.
Acting Moab City Police Chief Braden Palmer says his department has reoccurring turnover.
They come down, they move into a rental unit. We get them through basic training, we get them up and ready to go.
We learned Moab Police Department employees made an average of $56,837 the last fiscal year. The current median listing home price is $469,000.
I don't want to keep paying $2,000 a month in rent. I got to go find something different, and they leave.
Moab's population grows from 5,000 year-round residents to as many as 200,000 visitors during the high tourist season.
They tend to be a lot smaller than maybe we should be during the heightened season.
But their police department stays the same. Only 15 officers and 6 civil employees.
Tourist communities, especially in the West, have seen a real boom in terms of visitation.
Jim Winder is the former Moab police chief and former Salt Lake County sheriff.
So I think what's needed in Moab is a discussion about how to bring in officers from the Wasatch Front or from other surrounding agencies and to find some housing opportunities for them and have them work in essentially a part-time basis.
The state estimates that tourism brought in more than $1 billion in tax revenue last year, giving resort towns tens of millions of dollars to use for emergency services and law enforcement.
Not many other agencies.
Phil Kirk is with the Park City Police Department.
Financially, it's just pretty difficult for government workers, police officers in particular, to work in a resort town because it's so expensive, the cost of living.
We learned that Park City police officers made an average of $98,000 last fiscal year. The median listing home price, $1.5 million. Many Park City police officers live in other parts of Summit County and the Salt Lake Valley.
It's critical for us to have a good part-time or reserve crew that comes in and helps us in peak times when we have these special events.
Park City has 32 full-time year-round officers and 15 part-time reserve officers. They contract as many as 100 officers from other departments during special events.
Otherwise, it would be just economically impossible for us to afford full-time staff.
Chris Jones, KUTV 2 News.
Tomorrow night at 10, resort town police chiefs told us access to training just from being in a remote area is another hurdle they'd like to see Post and the legislature address.